What's up, guys? Welcome to Knockers on the Bottom. I'm your host, Jay Mill. Jay Mill, if you like. So today's game day, Cowboys, Giants. Excited to see what happens in this game. So want to do a little bit of a mashup. This is going to be pregame plus. We're going to take a look before we get to our predictions and stuff at some of the Giants offense. Some of the Giants defense against the Cowboys offense here. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, but let's get to it. So here you see the Cowboys, the Giants playing defense against the Commanders here. So the Commanders come out in a 3-by-1 set. So they have their 5 down linemen here. Actually, it's a 3-by-2 because the tight end is standing up here close to the line of scrimmage, and then you have a wide receiver out there. You have these 3 guys down here. 2 of them are bunched, and one of them's pretty wide. Jaden Daniels spent a lot of time in the shotgun in this game. When I was going through and watching the film and looking at the plays, he was out of shotgun a lot. They ran out of shotgun. They passed out of shotgun. They did a lot of no huddle. So you can tell that they had a lot of respect for the Giants pass rush, and what they wanted to do in order to counter it was spread everybody out so they could kind of get an idea of where those guys were coming from and then attack that way. So on this particular play here, you see, like I said, they're in shotgun, formation, spread out. So Jaden Daniels is kind of getting a survey of what's going on. Guy moves in motion now. That tells him, hey, these guys might be in man coverage here. So boom. Oh, I went a little bit too far, but let's take it back here. So he got a view that these guys are probably sitting here in man coverage after the motion went. And so let's take a look here what happens. Boom. So on the snap of the play, you see, let me just slow it down here so we can make sure that we're taking a nice good look at everything we see. So you can see at the snap of the play, Jaden Daniels is just kind of surveying these guys, getting his hands on them. That guy's waiting for that guy off the line of scrimmage. You kind of got this guy just sitting here roaming. So it does look like man coverage, but it also looks like these guys are perfectly comfortable, just kind of sitting back and waiting for those guys to come to them. Boom. So it's kind of man here, off coverage here, man here, and this guy looks like he's just his whole job is to spy Jaden Daniels, and if he takes off running, to go, lay the hit on him. So anyway, play rolls. This route starts to develop here over the middle. You see this guy here. He starts to break in. Jaden Daniels lets the ball on time and on target and hits that guy right in stride. Boom. Nice big completion, nice big gain. Looks like the Giants secondary can be had, which is nothing new here. It's kind of been that way for a couple years. So looking at the Cowboys, kind of want to see how Dallas is going to plan to attack New York in the same way. So this is Dallas lined up against Philadelphia. This play ended up being pretty good for them in the game here. When the Dallas Cowboys come out in this particular formation, as you can see, they actually have a couple tight ends here on the line of scrimmage. Single back set, only 2 wide receivers out wide. So this formation is telling Philly, hey, we're going to run, right? Normally when you see this type of personnel, it's run personnel. Philly matches it. They have 7 guys in the box here, as you can see, 2 corners on the outside, a couple of safeties deep. So it looks like the Cowboys are planning to run out of this formation. Safety comes down at the last second here to kind of put an extra guy in the box. Now he's backing up. You see CD going in motion, and you see the linebacker kind of cheat a little bit because when CD goes in motion tight to the line of scrimmage, now they're definitely selling run. So that guy there decides to come up, and now the safety is back up on the line of scrimmage. So if you look and you count, how many do we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 guys in the box and another guy lurking, right? So now play action, boom, Prescott fakes. And it looks like we actually only have a couple of guys out in route, right? You have CD out in route coming open, and then you have what I assume is too small for me to see, but what I assume is George Pickens en route coming out, and he's not necessarily open just yet. Everybody else, it's a max protect, right? Cowboys play it perfectly. CeeDee Lamb gets open. boom, catches the ball. If Dak was just a little more out in front of him, maybe he scores on that play. But that play ended up being an awesome big play for the Cowboys. I do see them attacking the Giants a very similar way because I do expect the Cowboys to run the ball early this game. And then as the game starts to go, then they can kind of set up some of these plays and hit the Giants for some big plays in the passing game. Now, as far as the running game is concerned, this is something that the Commanders did that's going to be completely different than what the Cowboys did. The Cowboys are going to spend a ton of time running out of regular formations, with Dak Prescott under center. They're not going to do a ton of running out of shotgun. Doesn't mean they won't. They will, because every NFL team does. But they're going to do more running under center. But the Commanders, they were, like I said, spread out, everything shotgun, almost every formation. So they do a lot of running out of that, and that gave the Giants some problems. But I think you can give the Giants some problems no matter what, as long as you're disciplined with the way you run the football and you're committed to it. So here we go. Commanders set up to run the football. Like I said, out of shotgun. They send some motion first. The Giants go with it. But the Giants don't match it with a heavy number in the box, right? So if we take a look at how many guys they had here, we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys. So it's a normal box. It's not a light box. It's not a heavy box, especially since if you think about it, this guy out here, he's probably, more realistically looking to see, okay, what are we gonna do in the quick passing game with the tight end? Now, when the tight end goes in motion, those linebackers shift. So all 7 guys are still, in the box there. I don't know what happened to my screen. Okay, so all 7 guys are still in the box there, but they motion with that tight end when he goes over, and it causes everybody to shift. So now the Commanders create a mismatch, right? You have all these guys here just kind of muddled up in the trash here because the tight end went in motion. This guy's already getting double teamed and looking like he's on one knee, and you got a big cutback lane, which Bill Krosky-Merritt hits. And even though the Commanders guy is on the ground, he hits that, and boom, you have a nice big 10-yard plus run. Actually, it's 11 yards. And so what we're going to be looking to do is hit the Giants in that same way, just maybe not necessarily out of shotgun, right? So now here's at a similar play for the Cowboys, except for you have Dak Prescott is in shotgun this time, right? Because I told you, hey, the Cowboys will do it, right? Every team does it, but the Cowboys do prefer to run under center. The difference is the Cowboys here, if you see where my arrows pointed, they actually had a fullback on the field too, plus the tight end in motion. So you have the tight end going in motion, you have the fullback on the field as well, right, back there with the running back. And when that tight end goes in motion, he makes sure to go late. And this is on purpose, to create a late mismatch as far as numbers for the Cowboys. So boom, you got the tight end going, he's going to go connect with that guy. Boom, you got the fullback coming in right behind. He's looking for anybody he has to clean up, and there's really nobody there for him to clean up, so he gets lost behind this guy. He's probably going to try to block that guy there. But Javonte Williams, man, his strong running, he puts his hand down, he puts his head down, he keeps going. Look at that, just dragging people for extra yards. The Giants are going to have trouble if they don't tackle that guy today. That ended up being an 11-yard run down to the 1, and the Cowboys scored pretty much on the very next play or two to take a 14-7 lead against Philadelphia. So all in all, just looking at those things, the Cowboys do have some ways that they can attack the Giants today, and I expect that to happen. Now, let's get to some predictions. So I feel the Cowboys win this game. I do feel like the Giants are going to give them more hassle than people are thinking. But I do think at the end of the day, the Cowboys will be able to run the ball, run it effectively, and be able to control the line of scrimmage and the clock. And kind of this will be one of those ground and pound games, unless the Giants force a couple of turnovers. If the Giants force a couple of turnovers, then you might run into the situation where the Cowboys are throwing it a little bit more to kind of make up for those turnovers, and kind of, especially if the Giants are scoring off of them. So I have the Cowboys winning 31 to 21 against the New York Giants. That score, I would say, could vary a couple of different ways. Maybe it's 34-17, maybe it's 28-24, depending on how well the Cowboys do as far as the turnover battle, and how well the Giants do as far as controlling the Cowboys defensive front. But I do think, all in all, I will stick with my 31-21 score. Cowboys win. I do think it's a big day for George Pickens. I do think it's a big day for CeeDee Lamb. I also think it's a continuation for Williams. I think he finds the end zone again today. So we'll see what happens there. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Hit me up on Twitter at JMillerIYL. You can also hit me up at knockersonthebottom at outlook.com, knockersonthebottom at gmail.com. I'll take questions there. Any thing you want to comment, or any questions you have, or anything you just want to say, leave that below. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Love you guys. Until next time, which will be after the game, I'm your host, J Miller if you like. This has been Knockers on the Bottom. Peace.